We are here because our home, your home, is under attack. Our culture is under siege. We are in a civilizational and existential struggle for the very survival of our Western values. Our way of life is being marked for destruction by those who hate the concept of freedom. And this is not an attack from a distant shore alone, it's a tactical, demographic and ideological attack from within. At this very moment that we are sitting here, Islamic jihadis are plotting against you. And they are not coming, they are already here. They have unpacked their bags, set up their cells and are walking your streets. We are hated by the political elites because, unlike them, we refuse to submit to Islam. And like you, we never give up. We will try hard to ensure the Western survival. First, stop pretending, maybe the most important thing, stop pretending that Islam is merely a religion. It is not. It's a totalitarian ideology that aims to conquer the West. Second, don't lose your own freedom by giving it to those who want to destroy yours. Every mosque, every Islamic school, every burqa is regarded by Islam as a step towards the ultimate goal of your submission. 3. Close the hate factories they call Islamic schools, where children are taught that we are filthy infidels. Close radical mosques, forbid new ones, for Islam regards them as symbols of triumph. Prohibit Saudi or other funding from Islamic countries for projects in your country. And please ban the Muslim Brotherhood and other radical and jihadi organizations all over.
The Muslim Brotherhood is the biggest danger to United Kingdom. They are coming to take your own country, to control you. The mastermind of 9/11, where he was living? Qatar. Where is Hamas leaders living? Where is the political office of Hamas? Where is Taliban office? Qatar. Where is the sons of Osama bin Laden who slaughtered 3,000 people in America? Qatar. Those Islamists which is not accepted in the Middle East, they are here in Great Britain. They've been granted asylum.
4. Stop all Islamic immigration. Hijrah is one of the most important instruments of Islamization. Therefore, no more immigration from Islamic nations. 0 immigration from Islamic nations. All illegal immigrants out. Deport them all, without exception. 5. Instead of admitting more immigrants, it's time to focus on the assimilation and loyalties of those who are already here. Therefore, demand that immigrants assimilate or leave. There is no alternative. And, very important, ban the evil Sharia law. Ban it immediately. And if you love the Quran more than the Constitution, we are happy to send you back to the desert. Strip dual nationals of their Western nationality if they commit crimes, act against your laws or wage jihad. Send them back to the country of the other nationality, for we have no mercy for criminals or jihadis. Do not allow people with dual nationality to assume political office any longer. 5. Defend your roots. And those are based on the heritage of Jerusalem, Athens and Rome. Therefore, we owe nothing to Islam. Be proud of who we are. And the truth is, and it's difficult for some people to say or to hear, the truth is that our civilized Western culture based on Judeo-Christian principles is far superior to the barbaric culture of Islam. And 6, love your country. Patriotism is a moral duty. Rally around your flag. The flag is our home. It represents the sacrifices of the fallen and the hopes of the unborn. Why do leaders like the Australian Prime Minister Albanese, the French Prime Minister Macron, the British Prime Minister Starmer and others, why do they behave like Dhimmis? Why did the mayor of Amsterdam look on passively in November 2024 when a city witnessed a hunting down of Jews at a scale Europe had not seen since the Second World War? Jews were chased in Amsterdam by Islamic thugs, beaten up, thrown in the canals, knocked over on purpose by scooters and cars. And the thugs were aided by immigrant Muslim taxi drivers, while the police was mostly absent. Why is it happening all over? Because they all fear, my friends, they all fear the Islamic vote. They serve the Ummah, the worldwide Islamic community, rather than their own people. They are feeding the crocodile, hoping it will eat them last. They think they can manage Islam. They think they can tame it. But they are so wrong. Islam does not want a seat at the table, it wants to own the table. We need more leaders who love their own people more than people from other nations. Islam truly is incompatible with the very DNA of a free society. You cannot mix Sharia law with the Constitution. You cannot mix the subjection of women with the equality of men. You cannot mix the light of liberty with the change of submission. You have to choose liberty or change. Look at the brave people of Iran, who at this very moment fight to liberate themselves from the change of Islam. Those people are heroes. They deserve our support. And the Islamo-fascist regime of the Ayatollahs must end, and I tell you, it will end soon. My friends, Islam is a totalitarian political ideology demanding nothing less than the total submission of the world. It's a system where dissent is blasphemy and liberty is sin. Islam kills and destroys. We are a civilization that worships life. Islam loves death. Most of those immigrants in Europe came from Islamic nations from the Middle East and Africa. And in Europe today, we are living through a tragedy of our own making. The European elite was so tolerant that we tolerated the end of our own culture. They were so open-minded that their brains fell out of their heads. They allowed Islam to almost extinguish the 7 great lights of our Judeo-Christian civilization: freedom, safety, identity, prosperity, integrity, justice, and sovereignty. We are today inundated by Islam. Freedom of speech in Europe is gone. Islamic radicals can say whatever they want. They can preach hate in our town squares. But ordinary Europeans who dare to criticize Islam or complain about becoming a minority in their own neighborhood, village, or city are dragged to court. In Europe, the truth is now a crime. And you can be sent to prison for the words you speak. Look at the 20-year-old woman Maya from Hamburg, Germany. She was jailed, actually jailed, because she called a rapist of a 15-year-old girl a disgraceful pig, while the rapist himself only got a suspended sentence. In almost every major city in Western Europe, whenever you take a metro or a train, whenever you visit a festival or a market or a fair, you run the risk of being hacked to pieces by men eager to establish the Islamic Caliphate. Many of our cities have become combat zones, and I'm not exaggerating. Last month, 4 Islamic plots were foiled in Germany, Poland, and the Netherlands. All across Europe, Christmas was once again met with concrete barriers around public markets. New Year's Eve turned European cities in a combat zone where non-Western immigrants attacked and besieged the police with fireworks all over Europe, their new jihad. In Paris, the government was too afraid to even hold a traditional open-air New Year festival. And we all saw in Australia, another country overrun by Islam, there was last month bandy beach shooting during the first days of Hanukkah. Always the same kind of perpetrators, always adhering to the same so-called religion, but also always the same mantra from the authorities who claim it has nothing to do with Islam. The harder the murderers shout, Allahu Akbar, the harder the elites cry, it has nothing to do with Islam. And Islam has a word for those elites. It calls them Dhimmis. And Dhimmis in the Arab world are non-Muslims, usually Christians or Jews, who are tolerated temporarily by Islam because they have submitted to Islam without converting. Submission, remember, is what Islam all about. They do by cowering to Islam and lying about its true nature. Just like almost all our European leaders do after every Islamic atrocity, and like the Australian Prime Minister Tony Albanese did after the Bondi Beach massacre.